Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's May 5th, and it's Cinco de Mayo. Tonight, we're going to be doing a Spanish red, okay? And it's a Temperino, okay? Temperillo. And it's from Campo, uh, Campo Viejo, okay? And it's a Roja. Now, I was going to do a Mexican wine, but a Temperino is one of the wines that is popular. Well, not too many wines are popular in Mexico. Mexico, it's an interesting. They had the oldest winery in North America was in Mexico in 1597. The Spanish, when they came to Mexico during the Aztecs and stuff, they made wines, and then in the 1690s the Spanish president said no, no more wines. They were worried about wines competing with the Spanish, bringing wines back. So what they did is they stopped wines. They only let the Jesuits and the Dominican priest make wines. So they made wines because they needed it for, in mass. So the church was the only one allowed to use them. And most of your wines in Mexico that are made today, they call it Little Napa, which would be below the Baja region. Now it's interesting with Mexico in the 60s, and then they stopped making wines in the 1880s because of the blight that killed all the grapes. They really didn't get back in the wine business, and they drink beer and they drink tequila. And matter of fact, they closed the border to the U.S. and to everybody, wouldn't let them import wines. Then in the 60s and 70s, then in the 80s, they opened the border to America and other countries. And when they came in, they taxed us at 40%. So it really never took off. And, they might make 1 million bottles a year right now, the whole country of Mexico. But they're northern, just across the border or below California is the Mexican wines. But, it's... I think they also made the tax for two reasons. I don't think they wanted to hurt their tequila. They didn't want people starting to drink our wines, so they wanted to protect the tequila and the beer. Okay, so this Spanish wine we're doing. Okay, these are popular wines. Okay, these Rios, and a Rioja is they're nice. We had one earlier this. We've had a different one we had, but these are they're medium bodies, but they're full of fruit. They're red. They got that chocolate, the berry working, and they're reasonable. The Spanish and Portugal wines is one of the better values out there. You can buy these wines. This wine here you get for $10, $11. Okay, it's an 88. And this is an interesting thing. This winery, matter of fact, it's one of the most environmentally conscious ones. It got the award in Spain. It's all underground. They redid it. This was founded in 1959. Okay, it's a fairly new winery, but in the 80s they built it all underground, all cutting edge, and they just revamped it again. It's all cutting edge, all the processing, the barrels, and by having it underground, you keep the structured for the wine, and when you're doing all your processing, your maturization, your fermentation, it's the right temperature. So I mean, it's a really smart. It's in the hills. This is in the north. This is in northern Spain. Okay, right outside the capital, about 30 miles outside, and it's protected by the mountain regions. And once again, protected by the mountain regions like we have in California. So it limits the rainfall, limits the cold. And the Rioja region, there's 3 sub-regions, but these regions with microclimates, but they're all conducive for certain wines, more better for whites and reds. But these wines, this produces the longest season of all of Europe is the Rioja region, and it goes from mid-June to mid-October, and it's got long, warm summers, cool evenings, and the rain's not an issue because of the mountain ranges, okay? And this fermentation on this wine, this is going to be stainless steel. And this is a young wine, okay? You drink this, you got to be done by 23. 6, 7 year, 8 year wine, Okay, when you see a 2018, figure 5, 6 years. That's it. So these aren't the ones you buy to sit down. Although if you see an 18, you like it, you know you can drink this to 22, 23. So you say, okay, $9 a bottle. I like it. It's on sale. You go and you buy 4 bottles of this. You buy 4 bottles of the other. You get a case discount of 10%. You know, it makes it, functionable. Now, we'll try this one. And the soils in there, once again, they're good soils. You got the hills where this is. It's a clay, right? It's a clay callus underground. And it has, you got good drainage. It's on hills. And the 3 winemakers here, okay? This is 3 winemakers. They're all women. The head winemaker, she's been head winemaker since '89. And they all went to school for horticultural, and one was a pharmacist, but all 3 of them been in the for studying of culture, and they all brought up in the regions, studied. The head winemaker was in Australia. She studied there. She came here, and she's been the head winemaker since '89, and '98 she became the head winemaker, and then her name is Elena Adele, and then you have Cara and Callis, and then you also have Irene Perez as the assistants. Okay, so it's amazing how many women are in wine, right? Here we go. We'll do a slight pour. Now you see that? That's you got red color. You got big red, right? This is going to have some tannins. You can smell them. And this is the #1 grape grown in the Roja region. Roja. Now you can do this with tapas, right? Almost got like a... It's red, but it almost got... I think it's got some of my cocoa in there. It's a little racy. It's a little racy. Finish is not as long as it revs. It's like a little translucent. I expect it to be a little darker. It's got spice. Sometimes these Rojas, they have like a sweet vanilla taste. I don't taste it in this one. Yeah, somewhat. See, now that was smoother. Maybe because I poured more that time, but it was as smooth and not as racy as I originally thought it was going to be. Yeah, you can taste it. It's got the young tannin taste, okay? So it's a young tannin where I say it pops a little, okay? But it does have the finish is nice. The finish is good. The finish is elegant. It's not, but it does have that young, tanniny wine. Playful tannins. Let's put it that way. They're not the kind of tannins that come to your top of the mouth and you can't lay the wine down for 20 years. This wine's not going to be laid down. This is a synthetic cork too. That's a nice wine. It is nice. You do with this. This is this is nice. You try a different wine. You want to roll. It's a little more gamey. This would work with like a rich, even a grilled chicken. Even though it's a red. You don't have to do a white. You do a grilled chicken with this. Do a pasta with this. You do a tapas with this. You do root vegetables. Okay. You do soft cheeses. Soft cheeses work very good with this. Grab yourself a, would be good with this too. little olive, you know, little olive dish with this empanada. It's got acidity. It's got structure. It's got good acidity and good structure. It does have. You can taste the acidity, like the tannin, the acidity in it. It's got the acidity. That's that young, grape working. It's a nice one. It's a nice one. You know. Hey, and don't forget. Now, listen. We got to do the exercise. Now, the whole week is supposed to be teacher week. Okay, so I don't know if you go for a whole week for teacher week, but for your home tutors, we got to at least give you a couple of days. So, pour yourself a glass tonight. Kids in bed. Have this. This is good tonight with tonight. That's why I picked this wine. This would be perfect with little mole. Molly, you might even want it, but this would be great with a little Mexican food. Do some guacamole, burritos. Although Mexico, I don't think they celebrate it like we do in America. Now, I want to wish you all the best. Let's do our prayers, right? Say a little prayer tonight at dinner, maybe. Keep everybody in our hearts and our prayers. Stay away. Stay distance. Be assertive. It ain't over yet, okay? It's going to be over. The more we behave, the more we act reasonable, the better it's going to be for everybody, okay? Let's get through this. And let's have a beautiful summer, okay? Let's enjoy ourselves. A couple more weeks. Okay? Good night. God bless. And thanks to all the heroes that help us. Good night.